Hey there, everybody. Welcome into this edition of ESPN FC's Extra Time. Shaka, I do not bobble my head like that to the intro.
That's every time you say, hey there, everybody, all I can think of is a little bubbly head.
Shaka, Hislop, Don Hutchison with me as we get ready to go through your questions here from Twitter. I'm clearly just making time as I sift through my pile of papers to find the appropriates. All right, for Don, are you getting enough sleep? Congratulations, by the way, says our good friend Raj. What are we congratulating for you?
Had a baby boy, Sebby.
There it is.
Last Monday. So thanks. Was that Raj? Yeah, thanks, Raj. Yeah, he's been really good, Sebby.
How's the sleep?
Really good. Lots of sleep, not too bad. 3 hours. There we go, little Miller. 3 hours at a night, then an hour feed, then about 2-3 hours sleep again, then an hour feed, 3 hours. So it's not too bad.
Okay, thought you might have had a ready-made excuse for the bags under your eyes, but he didn't take it there.
Yeah, well.
Oh, you're saying I've got bags under my eyes, are you?
I did just say that, yeah. Congratulations, beautiful. I texted Don to congratulate him. I asked him, what are the percentages that Miller turns out to be a pro footballer? 98% yes, 3% no. So, we know Miller will not be a mathematician. We know that. We know that. All right, for Don and Shaka. Who's been your hammer of the year, and do you have West Ham as your favorites to win the Europa League? Shaka, you first.
Hammer of the year. I am going to go. I think it's hard to look further than Michael Antonio for the year. I think if we're talking the calendar year, it's probably Bowen.
Okay.
But over the course of the entire season, I'm leaning Michael Antonio.
We were talking about it the other day. I think in extra time as well. Bowen might play his way into the England squad. Don, who's been your hammer of the year, and do you have West Ham as favourites to win the Europa League?
Yes, favourites. I mean, Eintracht will be difficult. I'm going to go a little bit left field on this one, Sebby. I'm going to go, because we could have went Declan Rice, Michael Antonio, Jared Bowen. I'm going to go Craig Dawson. Just reliable, dependable, solid, no frills, no injuries, gets on with his job, heads it, boots it, brilliant attitude, character.
Kind of like Don as a player. No frills, just heads it and boots it.
That sounded like a backhanded compliment.
That's a bit harsh, I think.
Just run around a little bit.
Speaking of what we were like as players, what do the players or coaches say to the keeper when they have a Shaka-strophic moment like Stefan? As a teammate or coach, do you feel obligated to talk to the keeper at halftime or after the match? Don, I do want to hear from you on this, but I want to hear from the goal. Do you want people talking to you? Do you want to be left entirely alone? I don't know.
I want to be left alone. I know I've made a mistake. I don't need to be reminded of that. But then, you know, similarly, if I'm playing behind, if a defender makes a glaring error and it ends up in the back of the net, I don't go shouting at him either. There are goalkeepers who do. But I think he knows. He already knows he's made a mistake. It's already ended up in the back of the net. That defender doesn't need reminding. So when the table is turned and I'm the one at fault, I don't need anybody to tell me the same.
You probably don't need reminding, but do you want somebody to pick you up? Because I think that, right, you don't need anybody to criticize you, but because there's an image today after Stefan makes a mistake, one of his teammates kind of coming to pick him up.
I think that helps.
Okay.
Otherwise, you just feel left all out and all alone, you know, and I think at least somebody being there helps. It helps.
Don, it was never Shaka that would have ever made this mistake, but if any of the other teammates did or anybody else that you played with did, what would you have said to them?
See, I played with Shaka, and I would have been Shaka's worst nightmare because I would have seen Shaka in the showers and I would have got a bar of soap, I would have chucked it to Shaka's feet just so quickly he makes another mistake and go, see, you're doing it all the time, Shaq. You keep making mistakes, throw it in his hands and he drops the bar just to try and make a little bit of a joke of it, make a little bit light work of it. But you've got to know your players, Sebby.
Yeah.
Because if Shaka's head's gone and I see the whites in his eyes and I make a mistake, he might want to rip my head off.
Yes.
So you've got to be careful.
That's true too.
Jokes are great in a moment of tension if they land. If they don't, don't be that guy.
Sometimes best leave it till the Monday or wherever it is.
As somebody who has had many jokes not land over his life, I know that feeling well. Don, do you remember?
I feel like there's some deeper hurt in this.
Let's not dig into it on extra time, shall we? Don, do you remember how many red cards you've gotten in your career? What was the most bizarre one of the lot?
I think I'm at about 6 or 7, so quite high. The most bizarre one, I mean, I had some when my head was gone and the red mist was there and I two-footed someone.
But those aren't bizarre. That's a normal red card, right?
Yeah. So I think the most bizarre one where I played, I think it was at Villa Park, and we're getting beat at Villa Park, and I've committed a foul, yellow card, and then it was that type of game where the referee was just giving everything against me, everything against, where was I? Everton, I think, at the time. We're having a mare. Just can't get anything going, just flat, passes not coming off. And then the referee gave a soft foul for one of my teammates and the ball sort of squirmed from about 20 yards away and it landed at my foot. And my head's gone and I've just picked up the ball, threw it in the air and I've volleyed it out of Villa Park. Literally volleyed it over the main stand because I was just gone and the referee's gone, well, that's a second yellow. Bang, off you go.
Similar story. So I was in college and we were playing in a game and it was a good friend of mine, was already on a yellow. Same thing, foul call, very upset, picks the ball up, punts it 60 yards into the air.
Right.
As soon as it's in the air, like before it comes down, we know he's gone, right? Obviously, the ref is coming over. He looks at the ref dead and he goes, "Don't you do it. Don't you do it." To this day, I still text my buddy Alex Castillo. I said, "Don't you do it. Don't you do it."
Did he? Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Did he send him?
Yeah, send him off. We were leading in the game, go down 10 men, end up losing the match. Not as bizarre as my favorite red card story, which is when I threw the ball at a ref. But that's for another time. Shaka, what's your most bizarre?
You have some deep hood. You have some issues, Sebi.
You got a few reds, right? But Two? Just collisions, what?
Oh, no. One was for handball outside the box, away to Middlesbrough. And the other was for West Ham against Chelsea. Ball got played through. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank coming through, who made an absolute meal of the challenge. That was Jimmy Floyd, though. Don could tell you. Went over me and the ref was sending everybody off. He sent 3 players off that day. What's going on with your phone?
I don't know. It just started playing ambient fan noises there.
Chuck, that's a fine.
That is a fine. It's on silent and actually just started.
All of a sudden, his phone starts playing little wheel noises.
Did that distract you from your high-level analysis there?
Sebi, I'm 3 questions into this extra time, and you need help.
4 questions. Thanks for paying attention. Here's the 5th. If Argentina win the World Cup in Qatar, will Shaka finally consider Messi as the GOAT?
Well, let's cross that bridge when we get there. I have Argentina as my favorites. Argentina is my pick to win.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Just because of Messi?
Because I think they're the best team to win the tournament.
31, is that it, unbeaten? It's a pretty good bet. For Don, we all talk constantly how City need a number 9. But in your opinion, what do Liverpool need most?
Wow. Not much. But one of my favourite players in the Premier League, and I'm not trying to get rid of him for West Ham, is Declan Rice. So Jude Bellingham's ripping it up at Borussia Dortmund. If Liverpool got a Declan Rice or a Jude Bellingham for maybe a year or two's time when Jordan Henderson maybe just gets into his sort of early 30s, but you're nitpicking because top end of the pitch, defensively, Konate's young. One of those two. Jude Bellingham or Declan Rice.
It's interesting because we compare the two all the time, but when you talk about City, there's the obvious need, and Liverpool doesn't have that obvious need, do they?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that they have an obvious need. As Don's saying, maybe in a year or two, somebody to replace Jordan Henderson, but right now, I don't think there's an awful lot.
We've seen that in the past. Maybe not huge transfer windows from Liverpool,
but they just keep ticking over.
Yeah,
you know, and that's the beauty with Liverpool. They just even the sign Diaz has kind of come out of nowhere, but then all of a sudden he hits the park running, and you just think no. And as Don was saying during the show, that their squad is as good as any in world football right now. Liverpool's and without anything major, anything that just kind of came out of left field. You know, probably last really big signing was Thiago, and you felt that they maybe needed that ball playing in midfield. But the others that they signed since have just been kind of, oh well, or when they happened, you're just kind of, oh well, okay, no problem. And they've been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Kanate, another one that
Jota, fantastic.
Leaning on of late. All right, that'll do it for this edition of Extra Time. That's it.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and of course, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.